Good morning, everyone. This is Katie Carney from Katie Carney Stitching, and this is my Flosstube number 80, and it is Sunday, December 7th, so it's been 2 weeks since I recorded. And for someone who's been a pretty monogamous stitcher, I have kind of a lot to show you, so that's good. I hope that you've all been well. I'm going to start with my first finish and then kind of launch into a little bit of the story of what happened to me because you all were so kind, so kind in the comments and said that you didn't mind hearing the story. And I do keep like a journal, but it's only like 2 or 3 lines a day. So having being able to look back on this time, I think, will be important. So I will try to remember to put a thing in the bottom, in the description box below, when I stop talking about my hospital stay and subsequent couple weeks. So my big finish is this. This is from Target a couple years ago. I bought 3 or 4 and I stitched them for friends. I put different things on them. One of my friends got a gnome. One of them I did like a chevron thing. One of them I put a flower on. And then for myself, I made a fake EKG with a heart and then I put my initials. And this is kind of like my emergency kit that I'll keep in whatever purse I'm carrying, no matter what. So it's a full day's worth of my pills. So my blood thinner, which I have to take every 12 hours. Well, right now every 24, but it'll go back to 12 tomorrow. My beta blocker, which makes my heart rate stay low. My heart pill, which I was already on. And I put my allergy pill in there. And it's my portable EKG machine. This thing is been a godsend because, so what happened is Mark had been away, and on a Saturday morning I was at the grocery store. I was getting ready to leave to pick him up at the airport in New Jersey. I was having a wonderful day. Wonderful. I was in a great mood. We were going to stay in Philly overnight. We had the orchestra on Sunday. You know, I'm bobbing along like, you know, everything's great. I had been to the gym the day before and I had been jogging, like not a lot, a little bit. But like I just felt like $1,000,000. And I was walking out of the grocery store, parked in my favorite parking spot at the store, remembered that I needed to buy food for Easter. Thank you, God, that I needed to buy food for Easter because it's Easter Saturday. I was gonna be in New Jersey for my grandmother's birthday, so I had to get I was doing steaks, so I got like the steaks and the potatoes, you know, the stuff you could buy early. You know, bumping along, living my best life, and I walk out of the store and all of a sudden my heart just jumps. And mine, it does that. I don't know if it was AFib when it's done in the past, but it'll get really fast. And usually I take a beta blocker and I drink a bunch of water. It usually happens at night. And then by the next morning it's fine. So I got in the car, I had a little bit of water in the car, and I was like, you know, I probably didn't drink enough today. I took a beta blocker. I had to go to CVS for something, I don't remember what. I bought a 36-ounce bottle of water, and I chugged it. I almost fainted at CVS. I didn't. I got home, I got the groceries in the house and put away, and I wear a watch, so I was monitoring my heart rate really close, and it was high. But I was like, we're fine. I just kept drinking because that helps. If you have high heart rate, it helps if you drink. You might be dehydrated. My cardiologist always tells me I have to drink a lot. So I drove to New Jersey. It's about a 90-minute drive to Newark. I stopped for gas. I got a protein bar and electrolyte drink. And then when I picked Mark up, he drove into Philly. I very slowly walked to the hotel. I tried to rest. It was not the trip we were looking forward to. We took a Uber to dinner, which we never do. We always walk. But I was like, I don't think I could do it. Like, you know, I don't know. I managed to eat dinner. We took an Uber back to the hotel. I didn't sleep all night. As soon as I would try to like roll over, I could feel my heart beating. And usually it gets better when I sleep. So I was like, I just have to get some rest. It'll be fine tomorrow. And then the next day I woke up and my watch has an AFib notification, and it was crazy. It was every 5 minutes all night long. You're an AFib, you're an AFib. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And Mark was like, you should call your cardiologist. And I was like, oh, it's a Sunday morning. I don't want to bother them. And he's like, Katie, there's something wrong with you. So I did call. My cardiologist called back within 10 minutes. I see a cardiologist in New Jersey. It's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It's a genetic condition. I've always had it, but I wasn't diagnosed until my late 20s. So I called the emergency line, and I've never called it before, actually. So he called me right back, and he said, you can go to a hospital in Philly, or a hospital, you can go home. He said, but wherever you go, if you are an AFib and you need to have your heart shocked, nobody's doing it but me. So I went directly to New Jersey. I got car sick on the way and puked for the first time in like 10 years. Of course, because when you think it can't get any worse. I got to the hospital. They rolled out the red carpet for me. I think every nurse in the ER was in my room right when I got there because I was making the monitors go crazy. They admitted me because my heart rate was, with medicine, was sustaining at like 140 to 160, and then it would jump up to like 180, 190, and they just couldn't get it under control. They couldn't fit me in for the heart shocking until Tuesday afternoon, so I was just suffering in the hospital and miserable. So Tuesday afternoon, I had the heart shock. Mark took me home. I got home around 9 o'clock that night. He was wonderful. I got home. I slept really well that first night, and then the next day the anxiety started. I didn't go back to work the next day. I went back a half day on the next day. The constant worry that it was going to happen again. My cardiologist kept saying, this won't kill you, and you're on a blood thinner, so you won't have a stroke. He was so funny in the hospital. He goes, well, we didn't have open heart surgery at 28 to have a stroke at 36. And I was like, no, we did not. He's very funny and he's wonderful. So I have been suffering with a lot of anxiety that it's going to happen again. And, WebMD, bad idea. 80% of people who have AFib have it again. I don't want to do it again. Completely changing my diet, cutting most caffeine out, it's been a complete life change. And then I was on a lot of beta blocker to make my heart rate go down. But it turns out that it was making me very, very sick, like vertigo and dizzy and sick. And then I think hormones mixed in with that. And about 10 days after my cardioversion, I went back to the ER. I went to a local one to try to see what was going on. And it was an awful experience. Do not recommend. We'll go to New Jersey next time. And then there was nothing wrong with my heart, so I went home. And then that Sunday night, I called the emergency line at my doctor's office again, and this time I talked to the PA, who I've become very close with, because I go monthly for echoes, so I've become pretty close with their office. And she spent an hour and 20 minutes on the phone with me trying to figure out what to do. I was like, I want to cry, but I'm scared to cry because I'm scared to put myself into AFib because I feel emotions. I was like, but I'm begging you to put me in the hospital. I was like, I haven't eaten. I've lost 10 pounds in a week, which would be great, except, that's not how I want to lose 10 pounds. I'm constantly dizzy. I'm worried about driving. I can't get through a day of work. I'm going to get fired. I don't have any more PTO. It was awful. And so they got me in for an emergency visit the next day. Mark had to drive me to New Jersey again. And then we changed my meds. It got a little better. And then we changed my medications again that Thursday. And that seems to have been the light switch. It was like a curtain going up. It took a couple days for me to feel good again, but I felt better right away. So I hope that we have found the right cocktail of meds. The anxiety has gotten better. I I have a weird fear of traveling right now, which I hope to eventually get over. Mark and I haven't been back to Philly. We've missed a ton of concerts. For a while, I didn't even want to go out after work. I just wanted to come and be home. I would go to the grocery store and then immediately come home. That was never like me. So it's just been very jarring to my physical and mental health. So last night, Mark and I took a walk. We walked. I live in South Scranton, and there's a big road like 8 blocks that way. And my like walk, that's not very hard and it's very pleasant, is to walk down to Music Street and back. And so I haven't done it. I just walked my block a lot right in the beginning. I didn't want to go too far. And then I walked 2 blocks a couple times, and then I did 3. So it was both building up my stamina, and also I was scared to get too far from the house, which is irrational. I can't help it. So slowly but surely, I am trying to remind myself to be graceful with myself. When I had my open heart, it took a year before I felt better, and this is obviously nothing compared to that. I woke up and I had a burn on my chest. But I think the emotional impact has been different. I'm older. I'm 36 now. And I was really faced with my mortality because I was not expecting this. There's been a lot of me thinking about getting to heaven in the last couple weeks. So, it's been a lot, and I do feel better. Obviously, I'm not crying right now. I couldn't talk about anything without crying for weeks. So we're getting there. But anyway, Mark got me this. It's a portable EKG. You put your fingers on it like this, and it reads your heart rhythm. So my heart has always it'll gallop, and it usually gallops itself right back into rhythm, except for when I was in AFib. So when that happens, just as like a reassurance, I've been using this, and it's been great. I have a Fitbit cord for my watch because I do think that my watch saved my life, because I probably would have continued to ignore it if I didn't get the notification. And then just my meds and my doctor's, my cardiologist's phone number and Mark's phone number, so that if somebody finds me in the street. I figure this is there must be something in here she might need. So that was my 3rd finish for the year. Woohoo! But it only took like a half hour, but very needed. The color is Dracula by Color and Cotton, and I have no idea if it's one of their regular colors or if it was a specialty color, but there it is. Now, my other finish is knitting related. So I finished around 12 minutes, remind me. I do knit. I hadn't knit for years, and then when all this happened, it felt easier to concentrate on. I had been doing dabbling a little bit, but now your girl is into it. So my brother had asked me at Christmas time to make him 2 pairs of socks, and I finished his 2nd pair last night. So these are Pattens. I got the yarn at Hobby Lobby. It's a self-striping, obviously. So hopefully he likes them. He usually does. He requested them. And then here's the label if you're curious. So it's Pattens Croy Socks. That's it. So they're done. And so when I was almost done them, I said to myself, I showed you guys, I just dumped them all over the floor. I had showed you guys that I had bought a sweater pattern, but then I was going through my stash and clothes room. All my clothes and all my stash are in there. Whoa. Let me tell you, it's not the prettiest room in my house, but it's one of my favorite places because all my things are in there. And I rediscovered this Great American Aran Afghan, and this was by Knitters Magazine, and I had started this years ago, and I wanted to do it in like a dusty rosy pink, one of my favorite colors, and I had decided I would do them each in order. It's all different what are these blocks, and then you sew them together. Beautiful. So I started it, and I had put it away, and I didn't remember why. So I pulled it out, and I'm going through the book, and I'm like, okay, I definitely did the first one. I did the second one. I don't remember doing this one. And then I had done the fourth one. So let me show those 3 that I had done to you. So here's one. Very pretty. Here's another one. Gorgeous. I love cables, so I love this. And here's the third one I had done. And that's the color I was using. And I couldn't figure out why I hadn't done the third one. And I remember having problems with it. So I said, well, let's try it. I got through the first 3 rows are just knitting. You knit, and then you turn it, and you knit, and you knit, whatever. That was the only thing that went well on the whole thing. I got another like 5 rows in. I had mistakes on every row. So this has, I don't care, it's only 1 page, and this is so old you could probably find it free online. It has 3 charts. And then here is how you read it. So you do your garter stitch on the edge, which is just knit on one side, knit every row. And then you do chart A beginning with row 21. Then you've got some stuff in there. Then you do chart C beginning at row 1. Then you do some more of the stockinette. Chart B beginning at row 1. And then you do chart A beginning at row 1. So you're starting charts in different rows. And so it's like you have 4 charts, really. Disaster. And I was like, you know what? I'm never going to sew this together. I'm never going to finish it. That's it. The book's going to Salvation Army. I had enough. The book has won. I will just make, so here's what I had gotten done. I will just make myself a cable knit blanket that's all in one piece without all of this. I hate seaming. That's the thing. I don't like to seam. I don't like finishing. When I finish, I want it to be finished. So it's fine. We've had enough. It won. So I had said that I was going to finish that blanket before I started anything else because it had been languishing on a shelf for so long, and now it's going to I don't know what I'm going to do with those 3 blocks. I feel guilty throwing them away, but there's not much to be done with them. So anyway, last time I was here, I showed you all the Traveler. Somewhere there's a picture of it, I think. Oh, there it is. So this is the Traveler by Dre Renee Knits. I'm going to leave the hood off. So I did not have any yarn in the right color or in the right weight. So I went to Knit Picks and I got, this is Wool of the Andes and this is Sport Weight Sprinkle Heather. And it's like I actually think it's going to look great with my skin tone. It's like a purpley, I don't even know how to describe it. That's actually pretty accurate. It's a little lighter than that. So I think it's really, really pretty. So I got a sweater's worth, which is 2 bags of this for me, my size. I figured out what size I'm going to make, and now that the socks are done, I can start this. So then I also got myself some self-striping sock yarn. And I was like, oh, well, I need 2 of each. And then I got them home, and I figured it's not sock weight, it's worsted weight. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these. I have 6. I have 2 in this color, 2 in this color, and 2 in this color. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot is what it comes down to. So that's my big knitting haul. I haven't bought yarn in so long. I'm very excited to start this. It will be my morning and watching the news with Fra project for probably a year, because that's only like a half hour knitting a day, or maybe 45 minutes. It's enough though. You know, you don't need to knit a ton to get some progress. And then I'm sure, like this morning, I cross-stitched because I had finished the socks. So anyway, now let's talk about cross-stitch again. It feels good to feel like I'm back. It feels good to feel like I am laughing again. Feels good to laugh and to make fun of myself. So last time we were here, I showed you my 1993 Prairie Schooler Santa. I've been working on this at my lunch at work, which is maybe 15 minutes, and when I get to work, which is about 10 minutes. But that's like 2 or 3 lengths of thread a day, so we're getting there. So since you guys last saw it, I added this flower here, and then I've just been color completing pieces of thread. So like I got a little bit of the jacket here, a little bit of his red jacket here, and then I've gone up with the border, and I have started the sleeves of his jacket. I'm going to finish with the border and that white color because that's also the color of his beard, and I'm just going to get it done. And then, I mean, I'm cruising right along, actually. I think this might be done before the next time I see you, which is great because all of a sudden I'm like, I have so many ideas for smalls. Should not watch Made by Michelle McGraw or The Twisted Stitcher. Hi, Vanna. I haven't watched Flosstube in months. I don't know why. And then Michelle put out a video. I wanted to watch it. Then Vanna put out a video. I wanted to watch that. And they both do these beautiful projects. And like literally, I'm stitching. This is why I don't watch Flosstube, because I'm stitching and I'm like, oh, let me look at that. Because of Vanna, I now have 172.96 in my Amazon cart because she's like, oh, you should make all of these Mill Hill nativities. And Jesus. I don't have $173 right now, so I might order like one a month for the next 14 years. It's fine. But I'm like, oh. Then I remembered that I have like Mill Hills in here in the Room of Doom. The Room of Doom, that's what we'll call it. Someday I'm going to give you a tour of the Room of Doom. You'll love it. So I think when I finish this, I'm going to do a Mill Hill kit, for I have so many and they take up room, of which I do not have. So, okay, then I also showed you last time Country Magic Stitch Rivendell. And I think I had decided that I was going to just work on this till I was done when I recorded last, but maybe not, I don't remember. But I am going to work on this until it's done, because I want to give it to my dad for this Father's Day. So I have to have it done by the end of May. I'm at 65% done. So I'm pretty close. I have like 8,000 half stitches left, which yesterday I did like 1,000 stitches. I didn't work on it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. So, I mean, it's fast because it's like these blocks of color. Now, I will say I did this. This is in white. That took me for 3 days. Took forever. There was a lot of counting there. And what I did was I did it row by row by row by row. Pattern Keeper makes that really easy. I wonder if I could show you. Ooh. Let me show you quick. Hang on. Okay. Can I show you? I think I can. Blanc. Okay. So what's lit up as light green, that's the Blanc. So what I did was, I would just do until it was done. So it didn't matter how much thread I wasted. I didn't care about that. I wanted to get it right because I knew that if I did not get that right, it wouldn't look good. So that gazebo where Aragorn and Galadriel? No. Oh my gosh. Liv Tyler's character in the movie. Anyway, I can't remember her name. It'll come back to me. Where they profess their love to one another. So, here it is. So far. So you can see, can you see that? Let's see. You can see that's all done, and it's correct. It better be. So this took a while, and now I'm just I've been working on green for the last couple days. And so to here is all completed 100%. And really all that's left under that green I'm working on is the Welcome to Rivendell. And let me tell you, last night, so I've been working across with this color green, and I got over here and I was like, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did it right. Square. Worked. It's a miracle. That has not yet happened to me in any of the country magic stitches that I've done, which is only 2, but still, I was pleased with myself. So, I think it looks beautiful. Beautiful. And then these have not been filled in yet. They're like a sandy color. And then I didn't know how I felt. This is pink. And I was like, I don't know about that. But I think it looks good. She does a good job with the shading. And I think the water came out really nice and the mountains. And every time I work on it, I hear the music that starts when you get to Rivendell. Love it. And now, let's go to Hall. So, obviously, I love Lord of the Rings. I love that whole universe. I like The Hobbit. I've read the books, the whole thing. I'm a nerd. It's who I am. And I've never purchased a modern folk embroidery piece before. And then Stacy, the 911 Stitcher on Facebook, posted this. This is it's printed horribly, but it is a take on a Lord of the Rings-esque tapestry. So Jacob described it. I'm going to read this to you. I'm sorry. I've always been fascinated by the world that J.R.R. Tolkien created when he set out to explore Middle-earth in his Lord of the Rings series. And then I'll skip the rest. With this design, I wanted to make a pattern that felt it belonged in this ancient world, a world which the art of the elves had an influence... Oh, God, I'm sorry. An influence on the design of men's. I used the first lines from Tolkien's poem, Galadriel's Lament in Lorien. It says, like the gold fall the leaves in the wind, long years, numberless as the wings of trees. The years have passed like a swift draughts of the sweet mead in lofty halls behind the west. Beneath the blue vaults of Varda, wherein the stars tremble, in the song of her voice, holy and queenly. And I love that. In my imagination, this poem was carried over and would be recited by men and incorporated into their art. For the art, I used imagery that felt appropriate for the men of Gondor. At the top of the pattern, you can see 2 horses flanking the white tree of Gondor. Above it, a crown and 7 stars. So I want to put it, you see where that mirror is? I want to put it there. And I have this vision of a dark hunter green with just a little bit of modeling. And I have so much fabric, but I don't have any in dark green. So I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday. And hang on one second. Hold, please. So I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday because I knew I had 2 things of... dye, but this is Kelly green, not dark enough, and this is pearl gray, which if this was a dark green I think would work because I thought I'll do ice dyeing. Well, Hobby Lobby has gotten rid of so much, and they didn't have any in the powder. in a dark green. So I did grab this thinking, well, maybe I could use dark green, so like a forest hunter green, and then add a little bit of the pearl gray. But I can't figure out how to model the fabric if I dye it wet. So if anybody could help me with that, that would be great, because I just want this dark green. And then I got DMC 1. It's like a silver gray. And just picture it. I mean, come on, that's beautiful. I don't know what size fabric I'm going to do. So it, on 14 or 28 count, it will be 13 by 22, 16, 19 by 12, 18, 17 by 10. So I got a 14 count, which I don't think I'll want. I got a big thing of it because I think that 22 by 13 is too big. But then I remembered that I had gotten Hardanger on clearance for $3.74, and it's a 22 count. So if a 20 count would be 15 by 9, it would be a little smaller than that, and I think it would look great. So I think I'm going to try to dye this. So if you have any recommendations on how to get like a rich dark green with this and a little bit of gray, let me know, because I need help. I could order dark green of this on Amazon, but it was like a 3-pack for $12, and I don't need a 3-pack. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening to me. Thank you for all the comments last week. I was overwhelmed, blown away. I tried to comment back to everybody, and if I didn't comment, I hearted it, which for me is a big step in the right direction because I'm really bad about that stuff. Please know that I read them all, that I cried while reading them all, that I am so grateful for them. This has been a humbling experience, having to ask for help, having to ask for help making dinner. You know, people sent food, thank God. Has been difficult for me because I like to do everything myself. And having to slow down has been difficult, but we are trying. So thank you all so much. Know that I'm praying for you and I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.